you know, Taylor's not the only act you've broken, so how do you find that, you know, thing in an artist that you think can get them known, get them sold, get them to sort of break through some, you know, because there's so many, you know, new artists that can sort of come at you, and radio moves so slow these days sometimes. What is your job there?
Yeah, there's a few different questions within that. So a lot of it is our gut feel. You know, we have a pretty specific gut that we go on. We don't look at the numbers first when we see an artist. We look at something and go, man, we love that. Or we don't love that. I've never signed anything and said, I love this artist, I can't wait to change everything about you. It happens. People go, okay, well, they're good, but we're going to do this. Just like, that's always been such a big turnoff for me. And it sounds pretty obvious, but it happens every day. And it's like, don't marry somebody that you think you're going to get home and change. It's the same thing, you know. Sign things that you believe in and love in. And, you know, so you look at that ideal of why we sign somebody and who we sign. And then you go, okay, we've broken Taylor. We better do it again. Because one thing that happened at DreamWorks is Toby got so big, we weren't able to keep a balance there. And it hurt the label dramatically. And when Taylor got so big, it's like, you know what? It can't get out of balance here. And still, she's the biggest artist in Nashville. But we were absolutely driven to make sure that our label wasn't just about Taylor Swift. And that's not a negative to Taylor. Taylor's my blood. I love Taylor. And she's doing fantastic work, and our relationship is as good as it's ever been. But it couldn't be just about that. So we got the deal with Garth Brooks, you know, and then we did a deal with Trisha Yearwood, and then we got Reba McEntire, and we broke the band Perry, and we got Rascal Flatts, and it's about a label now, and it's about a culture. It's not just about one thing, and it's not just about me as an executive. We have a lot of wonderful and brilliant executives. So again, it gets back to where we started. It's become this culture. And it's not just about any one of us. It's about all of us.
Do you think your experience with Taylor obviously helps when you get to a band like the band Perry? What do you apply that's similar, and are there things you do differently?
Well, they're all different. We don't ever do any of them the same. You know, if we did, we would look like the other record companies. You know, each one of them is their own individual. And shame on us if we don't treat them as such. What we do for Taylor Swift has nothing to do with what we do for Justin Moore, or what we do with the band Perry, or what we do with Reba. You know, we go through painful, long hours to try to figure out everybody's individual spark and make it work. You know, Martina McBride has her first top 10 record this week. The first one in 5 years. It's like, what? Well, guess what? It's still Martina McBride. She's still great. Somebody took it for granted. Shame. Don't ever take these amazing people for granted. You know, each one of them, you know their names because they're extraordinary. Well, guess what? They didn't stop being extraordinary one day. Something stopped happening. Somebody maybe stopped caring. Maybe that artist stopped caring. Maybe the people around them stopped caring. We care.